Ladies and gentlemen, the Chancellor of the University of Johannesburg welcomes you to this graduation ceremony. Due to security reasons, you are requested not to leave the auditorium before the end of the proceedings. Please note that photos and videos must be taken from your seats. Please do not get up and walk around inside the auditorium. As soon as the procession leaves the auditorium, you are requested to rise and remain standing until the procession and guests of honour have left the auditorium. A kind yet important request. Please only applaud after the student's name has been read out, and only applaud until the student has been capped, in order to give other graduates the opportunity to have an audible readout of their names. Please also note that no whistles are allowed for applause, only clapping of hands and ululating. You are cordially invited to enjoy refreshments in the foyer after the ceremony. A final request. If you have a cell phone in your possession, please switch it off or put it on silent. Ladies and gentlemen, the procession will now enter the auditorium. You are requested to rise and remain standing until the members of the procession have taken their seats.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now constitute this meeting as a lawful congregation of the University of Johannesburg. Kragtens die bevoegdhede aan my toevertrou, verklaar ek nou hierdie vergadering as 'n wettige kongregasie van die Universiteit van Johannesburg. Please be seated. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, graduates and your guests, ladies and gentlemen, and also our academic colleagues here on stage. What a joyful occasion, isn't it? Hey, to be here. Give yourself a round of applause. Hey. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to this joyous occasion of acknowledging the hard work that's gone in over so many years, and then to receive really the qualification publicly here on stage today. So congratulations to this graduation ceremony. It is a very disruptive world we're currently living in. Hey, 2016 or 2015 starting there in higher education. The students are currently out on the streets protesting, and meanwhile we'll have to keep up and keep going in terms of what we offer and the education that we want to offer. And it's important for us at UJ to, in spite of circumstances, not because of circumstances, to really carry on believing in what we do in terms of educating students for the future and getting them future fit. So yes, we are facing challenges, but you have our commitment that we will carry on regardless. Because as it's said, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And that's the challenge we have in front of us. And really, we can be more than proud of our academic team, our administrative supports team, all the functionaries involved for just being driven by the passion that they have for what we're doing in educating the students that have entrusted their future to us. And the fact that you are here this afternoon and that you will be receiving the fruits of your labor is also a sign of the trust that you have in this institution. Because by educating, you're investing in your future. And you need to be very careful and sure about you are going to entrust that investment to. So very pleased and grateful and privileged that you've entrusted your education to us. And we have a lot to celebrate at the University of Johannesburg, UJ. We've come a long way since the merger. And we have been striving to actually to really be a university of global excellence and stature. But at the same time to be reflective of the diversity of the countries and the continent that we have to serve. And therefore, proud of the diversity that we have in terms of gender, of background, of classes at the university, jointly struggling with how we can make Africa a better place. And to this, you have our commitment from UJ that we will have the best resources, the best lecturers available to be in support of this endeavor that we set ourselves. Currently, we have on the curriculum side of the university close on 52,000 students, and more than 3,000 of these students are international students coming from approximately 80 countries, also a little bit reflective of the flags behind me. So we virtually we match the United Nations, which I think represents about 120 odd countries. And we aim to increase our international exposure in terms of students to about 5,000 by the year 2020. Annually, we currently are delivering just over 12,000 students. And this is very important. In terms of the stature we've achieved in the market, ladies and gentlemen, 93% of our students that graduate obtain employment within a year after graduating. So the market is very pleased with what we try to achieve with our students and resonating their agreement that we're doing the right thing. And yes, of course, in the right way. But 93 within 1 year. On the continuous education side, we currently have about 9,000 students enrolled, and the whole intention is to grow that even more aggressively. Why? Because the world is changing at such a rapid rate. And as somebody said, is if you don't learn faster than the rate of change, you will become obsolescence. So the fact that you are here today is reflective of your desire to stay ahead of the change curve, to renew yourself. And it also implies that it's not supposed to stop here today, that you have to continue learning, continue move on. Of course, we would like you to do it formally with us and through us, but that you must learn at an ongoing pace and rate, such that you will remain employable. So, congratulations to our graduates. You are a part of a lead group that will now be able to play a leadership role in our society. And that's very important in our faculty, because the drive for our faculty is to create organizational leaders that can leave behind a legacy. And we're going to return later in the program to this where you will be expected to make a commitment as future fit leaders going forward. So we want to groom you and have been aiming to groom you. And hopefully you would have experienced that as leaders in your own space and places. But others have also sacrificed to make it possible for you to sit here today. So I would like to ask our graduates here today to give a round of applause to those that have supported them in order to make it possible that you can be here today. And of course, they're not all represented here because many of them we draw from practice, and that's our lecturing staff, our academic staff. And also want to thank them for being at the forefront and really creating the environment in which you can actually learn and encourage to learn, that learning facilitator conditions. Closer to our own department, the Department of Industrial Psychology and People Management, which is only applicable to one part of the graduation today, is the whole thrive to create graduates that can leave a legacy. And like you know, in the corporate governance literature, they talk about the triple bottom line nowadays of people, planet, and profit. We also want to grow graduates that can actually leave a legacy, a lasting, worthy legacy. And this one is threefold. Firstly, to develop and maintain high-performance organizations that can create wealth for all their stakeholders. Secondly, high authentic organizations that can nurture and care for their people, where their people will leave the organization better people than when they joined it. And thirdly, high responsibility organizations that act as trusted stewards of the society's assets entrusted to them. So a threefold legacy. And part of that investment that we see here today, and allow me just for the moment to lift out a couple of names in appreciation and acknowledgement of them, is the Palabora copper mine graduates that have come all the way from Palabora. So welcome to this graduation. We really appreciate it. But also organizations believing in investing in people. And we have two organizations in particular that I was asked to lift out that have endorsed and supported. And the one is the City of Johannesburg, and the other one is National Treasury. Let's acknowledge them. So in final conclusion, most welcome at the ceremony, and let's celebrate and enjoy what has been achieved here. Chancellor, I now request the presenter, Mrs. Rodine Dye, to introduce the candidates who have complied with all requirements for their respective qualifications.
Chancellor, I request you to award the following certificates to the candidates and those whose names appear in the program and who are absent.
The powers vested in me, I will now confer and award the respective qualifications on the candidates introduced to me and to the candidates who are absent, but who have complied with all of the requirements for the qualifications. Kragtens die bevoegdhede aan my toevertrou, sal ek nou aan die kandidate wat aan my voorgestel word, sowel as aan die kandidate wat aan al die vereistes vir die kwalifikasies voldoen het, maar wat afwesig is, die kwalifikasies toeken.
The following candidates are awarded the highest certificate in education, training and development. Queen Chepo Beloy. Jan Duplessis de Jager. Jabulile Pauline Dube. Matsobane David Ledwaba. Mabore Pascaline Macheru. Manyabela Rose Mailula. Fikile Anna Nchunu. Alpheus Mangwedi Molala. Nidere Mpamhadzi. Davina Naidu. Nomvula Ndlovu. Alice Letitia Nkwambana. Masebidi Patricia Nsi. Hopolo Florence Nziani. Nokukanya Peace Nzuza. Polnia Mochabi Setlare. Koketso Prudence Tau. Puti Eliphas Teli. Mark Monet Wingrove. Ladies and gents, can I please ask you to give that round of graduates a big round of applause, please? Thank you. I was wondering where your spirit was. The following candidates are awarded the Diploma in Education, Training and Development. Palesa Kubu. Pride Ntseke Muledi. Michelle Gail Augustus. The following candidates are awarded the Short Learning Program in Asset-Based Socio-Economic Development. Elizabeth Dlamini. Kholo Matlala. Alfred Ngele. Oscar Lukutumishe Siklola. Lindiswa Sifo. Max Gilbert Tsegla. Kenneth Ngake. We're having a few technical issues. We'll be with you shortly. Monolwane Abel Sepiri. The following candidates are awarded the Short Learning Program in Asset-Based Socioeconomic Development and the Short Learning Program in Emerging Social Enterprise Management. Deborah Cockrell. Jimna Rochelle Devji. Glad Mabele. Lekanya Madibetsa. Timbani Zanele Magubane. Busisiwe Makama. Sybil Markham. Letabo Mashile. Tando Mayeza. Ayanda Mlambo. Grace Mohapi. Kabelo Moleme. Anissa Musa. Lindiwe Matetwa. Fanele Sibonge Tokozani Ntleko. Ntombi Zodwa Pamela Nyoka. Grace Pakula. Ntabiseng Rakhodi. Kediboni Ramaglau. Simpiwe Sitole. Sindiswa Christine Tekana. Sewela Koli Temane. Abida Tamol. Sibusisu Twala. Zamashenge Lorraine Zita. Anna Dikaledi Zondo. Can we have a round of applause for those graduates, please? The following candidates are awarded the Short Learning Program in Emerging Social Enterprise Management. Musa Kumalo. Dineo Macheru. Florence Machato. Jacob Musi. Tandazile Ngubane. Zanele Sitole. Mulalo Makado. Emma Vilakazi. The following candidates are awarded the Short Learning Program in Business Incubation Management. I'd now like to please call on Adelaide Sheikh. And very proud, she's one of our own. Thank you, ladies and gents. A big round of applause for all the graduates.
Let's give them a warm round of applause. Education is something nobody can take away from you. It's forever yours. Isn't it a wonderful thought? We said we're growing leaders in this faculty. But you know, being a leader is a choice. It is a commitment. And hence what we've decided to do at each of our graduations is to ask our graduates to stand up. So if you wouldn't mind standing up, and make a pledge, an oath as a future fit leader. And I want you to, in your sleeve where you have your certificate, there should be the oath, my oath as a future fit leader. And maybe you can't follow it there where you are in the dark, but I will go forward in presenting the oath to you. And as we go through, I want you to consider, because leadership is a decision, whether you are willing to commit yourself to what's going to be presented to you by me. And what's in this oath, what we've done is we've used the leadership as an acronym, where each of the letters of the word in the word leadership stands for a quality that you are committing to. My oath as a future fit leader. Leadership is the centerpiece in the success of teams, organizations, communities, and societies. Leadership does make a difference. As a graduate of the Faculty of Management, University of Johannesburg, I commit myself unequivocally in the context in which I have to lead and in the role I have to fulfill as a leader to, firstly, leave behind a legacy of lasting value and worth for current and upcoming generations. So a legacy. 2, behave ethically by doing things for the right reasons, in the right way, at the right time. Ethically. Don't we need that so much in our times? 3, build alignment around a shared destiny by molding my stakeholders in a cohesive, vibrant community of passionate, dedicated followers. Leadership says if you're a true leader, you'll have followers. Nothing is worse is if you believe you're a leader and you turn around and nobody's following you. Then you're not a leader. So alignment. 4, craft an inspiring shared dream in this way envisioning what we must achieve to make our lasting and worthy legacy a reality, a dream. Leaders have dreams. 5, be visibly engaged where it matters in leading through my personal example as we journey towards our shared desired future. Be engaged, be visible as a leader. 6, be responsible by courageously taking full accountability for all my decisions, actions, and the outcomes, as well as those of my followers. Be responsible. 7, set out to serve by being humbly in the service of others and a greater common cause and good that supersedes me and is more enduring than myself. Serve. 8, live authentically, straight from my heart, with passion, my genuinely held personal beliefs and values, informing all of my thinking and actions at all time. Live from your heart. 9, lead with integrity by consistently, openly, and honestly sticking to my convictions regardless of the consequences, in this way being trustworthy. Integrity. 10, treasure at all times the people I have to lead, treating them with dignity, respect, and care, given the trust they are bestowing on me as their leader. People. May I live and preserve the finest traditions of my calling as a leader, and long experience the joy of making a true, lasting difference. I would like you to go and reflect when you're at home on this commitment. Are you willing to make this commitment that we so dearly need for our beloved country and the world in order to make that difference, and then go and make that difference? Please be seated.
At the closing of the ceremony, let me also express warm words of congratulations to all our graduates. Yours is a truly outstanding and a landmark achievement for you personally, your family and friends, your community, and for all of us at UJ, South Africa and beyond. As we celebrate, our graduates stand as reminders that accomplishment, triumph, and celebration are the outcomes of effort, struggle, and endurance, traits which our nation and our world should draw great inspiration from. And having reached the summit of the mountain, one realizes, as Nelson Mandela reminds us, that there are even more mountains and valleys ahead. So as you go forward, I encourage you to draw generously upon this moment of extraordinary achievement, your graduation day. Our hope is that the time and energy that you, your families, the university, and the state have invested in your education will also see you continue to grow professionally, intellectually, and as committed and respected citizens of our country and the wider global community with integrity, good faith, good intentions, honor, and humility. It is also your responsibility to share these values generously with those that you interact with. Let us turn to express words of gratitude to parents, families, spouses, partners, and friends for their support, motivation, and love during your studies. And also, let us thank our academics, great teachers, and fine scholars who have made this possible. Graduates, we hope to see you again in furthering your studies as active alumni. Armed with your UJ qualification, go on and change the world to one that turns on its head Gandhi's assessment of the 20th century to one characterized by commerce with morality, politics with principles, wealth with work, knowledge with character, science with humanity, earth use with reverence, religion with sacrifice, and pleasure with conscience. I thank you. Ria Leboga, baie dankie, Gia Bonga. I request you now to stand for the singing of the national anthem, the words of which can be found on the back page of the program. Ek versoek u nou om te staan vir die sing van die volkslied, waarvan die woorde op die agterblad van die program verskyn. By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now dissolve this congregation of the University of Johannesburg. Kragtens die bevoegdhede aan my toevertrou, ontbind ek nou hierdie kongregasie van die Universiteit van Johannesburg. I wish you a pleasant afternoon and please drive safely and celebrate responsibly. Thank you.